Hello and welcome to the Oral Health channel, and I'm your neighborhood friendly dentist Dr. Rudra Mohan, and today we'll be talking about dental scaling and polishing. Let's start. So today we're going to be talking about dental scaling or dental cleaning, which is the procedure that helps us to remove the stains at the same time the deposits from your teeth. Now, why it is important and why do we need to come in professionally for this is very simple. When you have plaque and tartar depositing on your teeth, at some point of time, the so-called plaque and tartar deposit will reach such a stage that it cannot be brushed off with toothpaste, toothbrush or floss or any mouthwash. This is the time when we step in, because we have specialized tools known as ultrasonic scalers, which help on the principle of ultrasonic energy and vibration and help us removing the so-called tough stains and at the same time the tough calculus deposits that are there on your teeth, which are occultly causing a lot of problems, including gingivitis as well as periodontitis. So let me explain the principle of how a scaler works. It's very simple. A scaler tip is composed of a piezoelectric crystal which basically vibrates or oscillates after electric current is passed through it. At the same time, there is a jet of water that comes to it, which helps in, first of all, the cooling of the instrument, as well as the fact that the air bubbles that are formed with the help of the vibration of the crystal and the water combined, these air bubbles, they go inside the so-called plaque and the calculus and disrupt it so that it breaks off, and finally it comes off from the tooth surface and your natural tooth surface is exposed. Now, a lot of times people generally tell me that, after the cleaning has been done, I feel that my teeth might be a little sore. It's not your teeth that are sore. It's probably the fact that your gums that were swollen from the inside were probably covered by the plaque which was hiding or masking the so-called conditions of the gums. Now, it's all right to feel sore for 1 or 2 days. However, after 3 days, if you still feel that the soreness has not left you, you might as well go back to your dentist and get yourself checked out. Also, a lot of patients complain of sensitivity while the treatment is going on, which is completely normal, because let's be honest, your front teeth are much thinner in substance or tooth substance as compared to your posterior teeth, and therefore you might have some sensitivity during the procedure. There are ways by which the sensitivity can be reduced intraoperatively, either by mouthwashes or toothpaste which are desensitizing, at the same time sometimes requiring local anesthetic injections that really help in relaxing you as a patient. Now, a lot of times I also get this thing that I feel that my tooth or teeth have been chipped off after the so-called procedure, especially in the lower front region. Now, let me tell you that your tongue is a very, very mobile, hyperfunctional and a sensitive organ of your body, which basically serves as, wherever it goes, it sends a message to your signal saying that the place is rough, or if there's some sort of a change in the so-called texture once you touch it with the tongue. Now, once the tartar has been removed from the back side of your lower front teeth, you will feel that there might be a rough surface. So what has happened is that you've been so accustomed of tartar being there over such a long time, you start getting the feeling, because of the tongue touching the lower anterior teeth from the back side, that you start feeling that the tooth substance has been lost. It's not that. It's just the tartar that had built up, which has been removed, and now it's going to take a couple of days for you to get used to. Also, one more thing, a lot of people complain once they spit while the procedure is going on into the spittoon that there is a lot of bleeding happening and they freak out. That's completely all right, because what is happening is, as I told before, your plaque is kind of masking the so-called inflammation of your gums. And once we irritate the gums unintentionally, basically as a part of the procedure to remove the calculus or the tartar, there has to be some sort of bleeding because the gums are swollen from inside. And that stimulation leads to ulcerations in the so-called gums, which have been already infected, and they will get better in the next 3-4 days. A little bit of bleeding on the day of the procedure and maybe a day or two after the procedure is completely normal. Once you're spitting after brushing, you might see a couple of bleeding spots. However, if you feel that the bleeding is not stopping at all after the procedure, or after maybe some injury, post-operatively at home, and the bleeding is not stopping, you might want to call up your dentist, or maybe just get yourself checked out if there is any other medical problem that might be causing the thing. A lot of times I get this thing that, Dr. Saab, you have weakened my tooth. It's not like that. There could be a possibility that the previous generation scalers, the ultrasonic scalers or the sonic scalers, the previous ones, were slightly more abrasive than what they are today. But today the technology is very advanced. We don't use much pressure, we use feather touch motions, and you are very less likely to have any tooth loss. In some cases, however, if your teeth are hypoplastic, you can Google it. Hypoplastic teeth means that the calcium deposition and mineralization in the tooth substance or the enamel or the dentin has not been complete or has been immature, because of which your teeth are relatively softer. We generally avoid ultrasonic scaling in such cases and go for other methods which are not a purview of this discussion, and that is something that you need to discuss with your dentist after we classify what kind of hypoplasia you are having. Now, coming to the cost of scaling. Scaling is generally, I get this complaint from a lot of my patients saying that, why is there a range? Let me ask you this question. You see your oral hygiene, you see your parents' oral hygiene, or your companion's oral hygiene, or your spouse's oral hygiene. Is it the same? No, it's not the same. Then how can we expect, if the status of the oral hygiene is not same? You might have more stains, you might have more tartar, you might have more calculus, you might have more plaque. And scaling, as a dentist, I'll tell you, it is a very labor intensive procedure which requires a lot of focus, which has a lot of aerosol that disturbs our visual field. So I feel it is a very underrated procedure, and the range is basically based on the fact that how much oral hygiene problems are there in your teeth and gums, how much inflammation is there in your gums, how many sittings might be required. So please try not to bargain with the dentist regarding that. You can definitely take a second opinion about it, but I still feel that there should be a minimum basic charges for scaling, because it is a very labor intensive procedure. And now let's talk about how frequently should we get this cleaning done, the dental scaling. Dental scaling can be done probably every 6 months on and off, or maybe ranging to once in a year, depending upon your oral hygiene status. So you have to make sure that your oral hygiene is maintained, and then you can probably go for periodic recalls. Let your dentist take the call as to how much plaque or how much calculus or how fast your teeth are undergoing so-called deposition of these substances in your mouth, and then they will probably advise you what you need to do, how fast you need to come to the dentist, how frequently you need to come and visit the dentist for your treatment. This was all about scaling, and I hope that this part was very clear. Coming to dental polishing. Dental polishing is also an adjunct to dental scaling. What happens is, when you do dental scaling, a lot of part of the calculus goes away, and microscopically speaking, I will revert and repeat that, microscopically speaking, there are some abrasions produced. That's not something for you to be concerned about, but then again, your tongue is more intelligent and perceptive than you think it is. So what happens is, you might feel that the tooth surfaces become slightly rough, and this roughness can contribute to, in the later periods, more attachment of plaque, more deposition of calculus. So in order to make sure that this thing doesn't happen as fast as it did the previous time, we make sure that the polishing is done. We basically, let me tell you, polishing is not the same as whitening of teeth. It is the smoothening of the teeth so that the plaque and the calculus don't stick to the teeth more tenaciously, and it can be easily removed with the help of toothbrushing and other oral hygiene methods. So what we do is, we have a polishing paste which has all the polishing paste components, and we put it on your tooth surface, and with the help of a rubber cup mounted on a handpiece at slow speed, we run them gently on your tooth surface in different strokes, so that we get a smooth and relatively shiny surface that definitely tells us that the teeth have been polished. Usually there is a separate charge for this, the dental polishing, apart from the scaling. But then again, if you have a good repertoire with your dentist, a good feedback from your dentist, how compliant you are, maybe the dentist might just include this in their treatment plan, and that's up to their discretion as to what they want to do. So I would definitely recommend, whenever you're going to the dentist and getting the dental scaling done, make sure you get the dental polishing done as well, for a better and more fresh experience post the appointment. And you will definitely see the difference after scaling and polishing, that you will feel much fresher, and at the same time you might not feel that the plaque is getting attached as fast as possible as it was in the previous time before you got the scaling done. So with this, I will conclude today's session, and I hope this was an informative session for you. We really appreciate all your feedback in the form of comments, likes, shares and subscriptions. So please do the same, and please help us grow our so-called channel so that we can spread more health awareness, oral health awareness amongst the Indian masses, and make sure that everyone is disease free in India. Thank you.